Welcome to season 7, episode 16. And this is going to be a doozy. I'm a little upset that we're not doing this on a Tuesday night just because it's going to be such a great episode. And we probably don't get everyone here because it's not a normal recording night. But guess what? You guys can check it out afterwards if you didn't miss it live. Hopefully, you're tuning in now to the actual podcast when it releases everywhere when I get around to it. So, hey guys. Hey, everybody in chat. We do got a few people saying hello. So, hello.
Howdy.
Oh my god, guys, my name is Damn, because we definitely should.
That's what they should have named this chapter.
We definitely should have done the live recording Tuesday night.
This was a good one.
It was a good one. a lot of fun, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of implications on these chapters. It's going to be a doozy of a couple chapters to get through.
It's almost like we're near the end of the book.
Almost like
it feels
that.
like.
It feels that
one
way.
Of those chapters.
Yeah. But before that, quick little housekeeping. We have no new patrons. I think. Yeah, no, not new patrons since last 2 nights ago. Oh wait, do we? We might. I say that, and I didn't even look. I think we actually do have. We do have one new patron. Sorry, we do. That would be Wayne. Yeah, Wayne. This episode's for
that's
you.
right. I knew I saw one.
Yeah, I know. Wayne,
this is your episode, buddy.
This is your episode. Yeah,
Wayne. Good time to join.
Right
yeah, this is an episode to have dedicated right here.
Wayne planned this 2 years ago.
He did. He planned it all out. So Wayne's our new patron. So we do have one new patron. Sorry about that. Yeah. As far as other things coming, I am finalizing guests for the next Watt of Fortune. That's going to be on April 8th. At some time during that night. We're still working on times depending on the guest and when they can do it. It's probably be 9 p.m., 10 p.m., somewhere around there, Eastern Daylight Time. But April 8th, it's going to be. I have one guest confirmed, a couple other ones still waiting to hear back. But yeah, so we're going to have some contestants. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come check it out. Gonna be fun. Other than that, just still getting ready for Jordan Con. Waiting. I ordered a bunch of merch for us and talked to our merch provider to make sure those come in time. Chris, I didn't order you another t-shirt because I know you already have a Lord's t-shirt, but do you want me to order one for you?
I mean, I'll always take another one, but you don't have to.
It might not be in time for Jordan Con. I was like, Ian and I need one because last year we didn't show up with any Will Reed's merchandise, and Chris was like, decked out and Will Reed stuff, and I'm like, I feel bad.
He did it right.
Yeah, I have this awesome shirt from Black Tower podcast, the Flicker shirt. So
yeah,
that's a fun one.
I got that one. That's from Black Tower podcast. But yeah, so I wore that last year. I'll wear it again. But yeah, we're gonna have. I got t-shirts from me. For Jordan Con, and yeah, beat them on. You'll take one. So we do giveaways, so at some point. Maybe you can win one. You can give away. You're a patron too.
If you want, you can just give away the one you'd get me. That's fine. I have one.
Okay.
It fits.
All right, we're gonna give away a t-shirt. So I'll figure it out. So yeah, so Jordan Con, getting ready for that. The next 2 weeks we will not be recording live. Podcasts will be coming out in regular schedules. So if you're not watching us live and you're just
sorry, guys.
Just listen to the podcast. It's still going to be coming out semi-weekly. I was more on a schedule of every Tuesday, but life got really busy. So I'm just like editing when I can and putting them out when I can. So it's coming out at times. When it happens, they come out. It's when I get a chance to actually sit down and edit and do the things. So
apparently that's what Dark Friends do. They just randomly pop in and cause havoc here and there.
It's what we do. It's what we do. So personal life. Not much has happened since. Well, I mean, I did get a reservation for my dinner party thing that I'm doing Saturday night for my birthday. Me, a couple of my guy friends are all going to Still in Portsmouth, Virginia, which is like the little shining good spot of Portsmouth.
That one section of High Street.
That one little section of High Street that actually has some really nice restaurants, like really nice restaurants. And the rest of Portsmouth is like you're not sure if you can get shot. So that's
yeah. I mean, if you don't know where you're going, that's a neighborhood to be cautious in.
Yeah, Portsmouth is rough. It's a rough area.
But the nice areas are really nice, though. There are some waterfront areas in Portsmouth that are really nice, but they're not far from not nice.
Yeah, I had a.
It's happening. It's just slow.
I had a friend who was like a friend of a friend who had like that lived out in Portsmouth, and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go over to my friend's parents' house, and I was like, in Portsmouth? He's like, yeah, come over and hang out. And I was like, this is years ago, and I was like,
After dark? What?
he sent me his address, and like I was driving down, it's like going through the ghetto. I'm like, oh man, where have you taken me? And like it turned down this like one little tiny like alleyway or road, and then like looked like a private lane, went back there and is on the water, this giant like house just like tucked away from everything else. So I was like, oh, this is actually a really nice house.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you get a lot cheaper out here because the gunshots bring down the value. Home values drop when you hear
Just to
gunshots
be
every night.
true.
It's true. It's sad but true.
Unless you're in
Um,
Charlotte.
Yeah. So going to High Street to Still, which is like it's an old speakeasy, so it's actually underground. They have the slotted door. There's no doorman, but it's actually underground, and it has like a ton of whiskey. So it's going to be
That's
fun
that's
time.
super cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
That'll be fun.
So looking forward to it. That's it for since the other night. Nothing else really new going on. Getting ready for the birthday celebrations, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, for me, again, nothing crazy new since Tuesday. I already told you about my spring break coming up. In the background tonight, they have a half day tomorrow, so I'm gonna let the kids stay up a little bit longer. Ronan's playing Fortnite, so you might hear that. And River is practicing the drums. I don't know if I mentioned on here, but I signed him up for School of Rock. Did I ever talk about that on here?
Yeah.
No.
So they
Maybe talk to me then. I don't know.
Right. So they get individual lessons, and then they do a group session where, as a group, they learn songs. And at the end of each season, they go to somewhere nearby, like a bar or something like that, and perform. And River is in the high school group. He's playing drums, keyboard, and bass on a bunch of Ramones songs. So he's up there practicing right now. But
Sedated.
yeah, he's playing drums on that one.
Uh-huh.
And Pet Cemetery, he's on the keys.
Okay.
Anyway, so he's up there practicing, but super proud of him. Alan, the show's in June, I'll let you know when it is. It's at that River City Roll in Scott's Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll bring the family out, listen to River embarrass himself, and go bowling.
It's always interesting when you talk to drummers that like drum in like high school bands and stuff like that, because like they learn to drum by sheet music. And of
Right.
course, as you know, like I drummed for a while. He knows this. I used to keep my drum set at his house, his mom's house. His mom used to hate it. But yeah, and then I drummed in a band for a little bit, and I did a couple of bar gigs and things like that. But I never learned how to read drum and sheet music. I just kept a beat and just would do fills whenever I felt like a fill would be there. And I got up, to I was over at someone's house, and someone had kids, and they had a drum set. They're like, "Hey, can you play the drums?" And I was like, "I heard you could." I was like, "Yeah, I can." I was like, "Can you play like Cranberry Zombie?" And I was like, "Well, if you just like give me like the song like in my ear, I probably can just drum it out." And he's like,
I might be able to figure it out.
You can play by ear on drums, and I was like, "It's freaking drums. It's not like the piano or like anything."
Right.
That's it. Like, I can just imagine a beat.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about School of Rock is like they'll get into being able to read music a little bit, but that's not how they start you. They put the instrument in your hand and they try to teach you to go by ear right off the bat. Especially with the drums, they give you just kind of basics of breaking down, like, all right, quarter note, 8/16, da da da. Like, this is what you do with your wrist, and bing bang boom. But other than that, they're not reading music too much. So
paradiddle,
right.
paradiddle.
But he's when his rehearsals are almost over, I try to get there early so I can listen to the last couple songs they're doing, and it's phenomenal. Like, super proud dad.
Sure.
So anyways,
Awesome.
So he's up there jamming. You might hear it. I don't know how good this mic is.
Okay. Cool. Chris, I heard that.
My migraine finally went away.
Did she just stub her pinky toe?
I just heard Chanel scream in the background.
That sounded like a pinky toe stub.
She's just prepping for tonight.
Oh, shoot. Oh, Lordy. Oh.
And now she's watching that show.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
Really?
You're the geekity. Well played, Chris. Well played.
Inconceivable.
But you had a migraine. I glazed over that. Sorry to hear that. I haven't had one in forever, but they're not fun.
Dude, it was. I took the day off work yesterday.
Oof.
I got through a lot of audio because I couldn't look at this freaking sun. so
Yeah,
I couldn't look at the screen.
He texted us saying you're done with Wave Kings.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm ready.
Are done with the
Wave
next part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Cool.
almost finished the 4th out of 5 books on my other series that I'm reading for Brent Weeks. I am rocking and rolling. So
Yeah. Was your
That was my-
migraine allergy induced, like with the pollen?
yeah, it was like cluster
Yeah.
headaches. Like
Mhm.
I almost thought I
Yeah.
had COVID. Didn't almost. I took 3 COVID tests because the first one came back positive. And I'm like, damn.
I get
Because-
ocular migraines. I don't know if you're like had
What's
those.
the-
So it's where your vision goes like completely like blurry and fuzzy. Like it's not
Yep.
so much a lot of pain, but like your vision just goes completely out.
My vision goes blurry, but then I
can't
also
focus
get the
on-
pain. Like think of like Cyclops glasses.
Yeah.
It's in that vicinity, like just
Yeah.
right across.
Oh,
I still
that's
have a
no
little
fun.
bit right now, but
Yeah, I get
much
them bad
better.
sometimes. Like where I have to like if I'm like there's been times where like I have to go I can't drive because like I
You can't
I
make your
can't
eyes
was-
focus.
that was
see.
me-
Like,
yeah, that was me
like I'm
yesterday.
like, man, we're just gonna stay where I am for until this goes away.
yep. I took one adventure out while early morning to go get some Chick-fil-A because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take full advantage of this. Chick-fil-A's open. And I regretted it because I almost didn't make it back home.
yeah,
It wasn't safe.
yeah. All right,
All right,
Hey.
Blades, let's do it. Come on.
Blades, let's go. Let's go. All right. So
This is what
we're
everybody's here for. If you were fast
Exactly.
forwarding, stop now because this is where the show starts.
yeah, chapter 36, Blades. Yeah, there's lots of blades going on because we start with Ran about to fight Torum. They get the practice swords out, and it's kind of like a you know who's bigger competition. Locker room.
So
Comparing
I-
sizes. You know,
I don't
it's
know
like,
if at the end of the
"All right,
last
boy."
chapter they specifically said practice swords. I guess I was like kind of too excited about everything else going on that I wasn't paying attention. But I was thinking they were going to go swords, and I was thinking right off the bat we'd get the Heron Mark blade reveal. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a smackdown before the swords ever crossed. But the fact that they went practice swords is actually cooler because they're
Yeah.
still underestimating Rand.
Well, Torum's just in like, are you sure you want to, fight like this? Because he still wears his full coat because obviously he doesn't want to show his arms with the tattoos and everything like that.
Right.
He puts his sword aside because he doesn't want the Heron Mark blade to see. You know, he's trying to play like he's like, sure, you know what you're doing, boy. You know, I'm a blade master. This is not going to end well for you. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good. I'll fight you guys.
Yeah,
You sure you want to
this
wear
will
those
be
gloves?
right.
You might slip. He's like, oh, I'm good. He doesn't want to show the Heron marks in his hands. You know,
Yeah.
trying to hide all his marks.
Or how about Min? How cute is this? She's so worried about him. She's like, Rand, no, oh my gosh, da 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 da. But then she's also thinking, well, you know, he routinely fights like 10 dudes at a time just for practice with one eye
So-
closed, with an arm tied behind his back. But
Yeah.
I'm so worried. Like she does the freak out thing, but in the same
Yeah,
like thought process is like, I mean, this is what he practices for all the time.
yeah.
So
And
that was cute.
yeah, and then Rand gets in the stance. He's like, at least you know how to stand. You know, he
Yep.
seems kind of aggressive.
Torum throws him the sword first to see if he can catch it.
Yeah,
He catches it. He's like, huh, okay.
goes
It'd have been
right
better
to-
if
And
Rand
then he-
fumbled it. Wait, which
That-
end? This end?
Yeah,
What?
that would have been the better. The comedy is what I always enjoy.
Lure
Yeah,
him
like-
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then Torum just charges right into full on attack mode, like in that's exactly how it happened.
That is the way I pictured it. And doesn't it make a comment like on his first attack, Rand just kind of like parries one handed, just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
la, 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 la.
Yeah. But then Torum starts pressing harder and harder, and it gets and they're coming less and less block. I mean, Rand's not disadvantaged, but he's not on the upper hand either. It's
He's
it's a
having
pretty-
he's having to work a little bit.
yeah.
Well, and Caroline outright tells him too. She's like, none of your special tricks, cousin. There are many eyes to die, half of which are red, and you don't need that attention. So
Oh, but Rand, yeah, but I could just so they don't really get in deep enough into his response. But Rand is like, I don't fucking need my tricks for this. Like I'm actually a badass with a fucking sword in his
yeah.
mind. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
trying to show that with his casual cool. I think if Rand would have started off right off the bat and given it all he got, I feel like Rand would have whooped this dude's ass. I think
Yeah.
this was showmanship it kind of backfired because Rand got distracted. We're not there yet, but up into the final moment of this sword fight, it felt like Rand was, I won't say had the upper hand, but he casually kept himself in it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get the feeling he was sweating too hard for it. Like,
Yeah.
yes, he had to work a little bit. He was against a Blade Master.
And you can see Catswain just over in the corners rolling her eyes the entire time, like,
This is for a moment. Torm
I thought she was
stared
getting
at
turned on.
him. For a moment, Torm stared at him, and Rand looked back calmly. Then they began to dance. That was all men could call it. The gliding, flowing movements. Wood blades flickered and spinning. She watched Rand practice with the swords against the best. And he could fight often against two or three. Like,
then I'm gonna make you sweat comes on. Everybody dance now.
So it was so beautiful and so easy to forget that those lays been steel, blood could have flowed, except that the blade, steel and not laths, touched flesh. Back and forth they danced, circling one another. Swords now probing, now slashing. Rand attacked, now defending, and every movement punctuated by those loud clacks. Like, we're doing sword fighting at Jordan Con, right?
Yeah, there is a sword fighting. Yeah, it's you can do sword or spear.
I saw that.
What if I do both?
I think I'm gonna
Is
go.
that blasphemous?
I don't think so.
How many people will I offend by doing both?
I mean, if you're a wetlander, you would use both.
Yeah, if you're Aiel, no, don't touch the sword.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you could always.
Oh,
We're gonna take a
kid
moment
in camera.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Proud
too
dad
cute.
moment.
Proud dad moment. Yeah.
Yeah, proud dad. It's 9:30 on a school night, and he's 7. So I don't know.
Yeah.
How great am I?
Yeah.
It's a
I
half
mean,
day
you're-
tomorrow.
I was about to say half days. I never went to those.
It's
so.
a half day before. Well, that's what they both asked me. They're like, "So we don't have to go tomorrow, right?" I'm like, "No, we got to go. We've already done too many freebie days."
Yeah. Hal says this scene gets the same treatment as the volleyball scene in Top Gun for the show.
Yeah, I'd put it up there with that. In general, we've talked about the sword fighting scenes before. I wish there were more of it, and Jordan spent more time describing it. But still, he paints a great picture. Early on, when Rand was learning from Lan, there was some awkwardness, and he took some blows and everything. But as Lan taught him, and as he taught himself, it really feels like this very graceful, almost like when Neo finally realizes, "Oh, I know Kung Fu," and just like eyes closed and just go into, I don't know. It's very cool.
Yeah.
All of my anime Asian show watching this comes into play when I imagine these things. I think Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Fused with a little bit of Avatar. Fused.
Or all those different tropes where it's like
Some Rurouni Kenshin.
it's in gray, and you see they go through the fight before the fight actually happens. I think The Last Samurai does that. That's kind of how you imagine by the time they go to do it, they already know each other's moves every step of the way.
Yeah.
So
Kill
it's kind
Bill.
of going right. Kill Bill. Yeah.
Even Star Wars kind of comes in there.
Yeah. So as they're fighting, all of a sudden they hear a scream, which actually breaks Rand's concentration. He takes a nice little hit from the side, and then like basically something between the Mind Flayer from Stranger Things and the Smoke Monster from Lost shows up, and just rips a tent out, like completely up into the sky. Like,
Yeah.
That's perfect. You said Mind Flayer. As it was
the thought I had,
described,
too.
that's what was in my mind.
yeah,
And I was trying to figure out, is this related to what's the tendril smoke of the place where they stole the dagger?
Oh yeah, for a more death.
Ashidar?
Mashadar? Is it related to that?
That's
in some
exactly
way?
what this is. That is exactly what this is.
I mean, yeah.
100%.
But instead of just being lurking in a city, it's out and about, right?
Oh, 'cause
So
it's came
that's
in
why I got
Inside of
fame.
War Death.
right.
Yeah.
That's why I got
Have
from
been
Stranger
like-
Things that picture of it kind of
It was his
Yeah.
breath. It's more breath.
more breath, more
I've
garlic,
been saying it wrong this whole time.
more breath.
Yeah,
That's
he just breathed out and it just.
We
But
yeah.
it gets pretty
T-shirt
graphic.
T-shirt of more breath eating garlic and it just coming out of his mouth. Just
Yeah, and it gets pretty violent. I mean, Torum hits Rand in the side, then plans actually on killing him. It almost seems like, but then right as that happens, like the Fog snatches one of the Red Sisters and like snaps her neck like around backwards, and just
and
like
there
pretty-
was much rejoicing.
Then,
Yay! That was like when it popped out. I went, "Oh no!" Then it said Red Sister snapped in half, and I went, "Oh no."
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, where's this going? This
The
is
Cat
interesting.
Swain was the first one to overcome shock. Her arm
Yeah.
rose and twisted, and 2 balls of fire. Like this is that Moraine type ish, just from a new
Mhm.
character perspective. And
Yeah,
her
loving
first
me some
go-to
Cat
was like
Swain.
balls of fire. Like I got this.
She goes
Like-
straight for the balls right off the bat.
Mhm.
Yep.
Although I don't want to read into it too much, but the little bit we know about Cat Swain, how old she is, she's worldly, she's seen everything, she doesn't get surprised by much, and she still had to overcome a little bit of the shock of what was going on.
Oh yeah, this is
Even the fact that she stuttered a little bit. This is not a
But
small.
she didn't realize that more death and the power that was in that city is now out.
Correct.
She got
So
some catching up to
it
do.
caught her off guard. She had
Yeah.
it was brief, but she had a oh shit moment. I think
Uh-huh.
that's significant.
yep. So everyone
Like,
starts to.
she's been-
Oh, go ahead.
She's been moving at this slow pace to like correctly address Rand and to really assess and do things. And now she's realizing she may be paying for that a little bit because she hasn't really taken them serious or what's going on serious.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't have to slow down, but I do have to tuck in Ronan and give him a hug.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Yeah, so everyone begins to scatter and run everywhere from the tent, and including Rand and Min and Torum and Catswain and everybody, but they kind of form a group together, I guess, a few others as well. And they decide that the best way is to try to go for the high ground. They know that going, I think it was north. I think they said,
Yeah.
like,
I mean, Torum went straight away to this is his work. It's Althor's work.
oh yeah,
Like, and then he's
immediately.
Gerald, where are you? Gerald, the light burn you, man. Where are you?
Draw
And
more
then,
death.
like more death.
He's
Yeah,
calling-
Fane did not answer. He went on shouting. It's like, dude, he's not coming. Go north. So
Oh, he's there. He's there.
yeah, but he's not coming for the reasons you want him to.
Yeah.
Leave him where he's at.
Exactly. Yeah, and they formed a defensive group, trying to escape the fog. Making their way up the hill, making their way
With
downtown. With Cat Swain, like, um,
Like, but it's funny how quickly she fell in and asserted herself as being in the lead, and how quickly ran and said, "Okay, all right, we can do this."
yeah. Well, she's also like super old, so the mature, the wisdom of age, much wiser. Yeah, just follow Cat Swain's lead. But
Yeah,
But they make their way like halfway up this hill, and then as they're making it up, the fog starts to overtake them. And they're trying to channel. Cat Swain is, the women are. Rand's still holding back from channeling at this point, with the fog closing in. And finally, Rand's had enough, so he channels Balefire.
Does a little finger blasting. Little,
Finger blasting is the best.
yes.
Yeah, does a little finger blasting, and it seems to work for like a little bit, but then like the fog just comes right back together, like it.
yeah.
But also at this point, everyone that's around him sees this happen, and it's like, yeah, the gig's up.
yeah,
I knew it. I knew
Yeah.
it was you.
It's like the fog was cold as winter, grayness closing around them in swirls so heavy it was difficult to see the other clearly.
Mhm.
Hearing was always too easy, though. Shrieks drifted through the murk, men and women crying out, horses screaming. The fog seemed to deaden sounds, make it hollow, so that
Mhm.
thankfully those awful sounds seemed distant. So like he literally, in the matter of like 2 minutes, filled the entire camp
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
fog.
Oh yeah.
And the fog just devastated everything around it. Like at this point, he's probably one of the most powerful characters in the book at the moment.
Yeah.
Singular characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would make arguments that certain people teamed up can be better, but yeah.
And Torm immediately realizes who Rand is at this point, and it's like, you're causing this, and it gets like all huffy about it, and they're like, don't have time for it, so he just runs away instead of like it's like the fox closing in fast.
Right, more afraid, maybe not afraid or mad or angry with Rand than he is this mystery fog that just shredded a red right in front of everybody. Like, I don't know. I thought that was a little bit extreme, probably also stupid. I mean, in a situation like that, even if I'm standing by people that I would consider my enemy, but there's a much greater threat, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's you. We're going to talk about this when this is over. Let's figure this out, But he still darts off.
Yeah. And of course, Cadsuane's reaction.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's about what Rand said. Oh, wow. You totally just slapped me.
It is so. I'll
Slap
tell you
the
why.
shit out of Rand. Don't you ever use Balefire again.
Watching it from that angle.
You keep
Get that Balefire out of your mouth.
Chris Rock was a G for that one. Rand was a G.
I'm glad
Rand
we're
could have
laughing at
went
it now.
off and like Balefired her. Instead, he was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's kind of ducked his head in. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
I was
did a
very uneasy.
That
about
is a
Cat
very-
Swain,
I still am.
but see, it wasn't the slap. I don't want to say the slap did it because you know me. Generally, I'm not a fan. Although that's a situation where,
She was right.
yeah, there's a time and a place.
A mother scolding a
unfortunately.
child is what
Right.
that was.
Well,
That was
because
the moment when I started trusting her.
there needed to be an immediate stop to that action for everybody's safety's sake. Like he needed to be snapped out of that. Like, no, sir, absolutely don't do that. So, anyways,
Yeah.
but I'm starting to love her.
Yeah.
She's great.
So I think we already answered this, but Hal wanted to know. So what do you think caused the fog? Bubbles of evil, or was it all Pat and Fane?
Oh, it was all Pat and Fang.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Fane and that stuff
That
from
was- that was-
Shadow
No-
Alert.
no
Love it.
Buffet?
We see
Michael
later
Bublé?
on. No, we see later on that these are definitely two different evils.
Yeah.
I think we get that 100%
Right.
confirmed in
Yeah.
about 3 sentences.
Yeah. Well, it's a little longer than that, but yes. Because what happens next is as Cadsuane scolding Rand out of the fog, out of nowhere, Pat and Fane comes in for a little sucker slice and barely nicks Rand. I mean, it doesn't really get him that good, but right in the spot, right where the weak wound is. But yeah, slices him with the Ruby Hilt dagger, which we've
Right,
seen
I was gonna
that
say.
slice people before, and it just basically corrupts them, and
Okay.
they turn to mush and disintegrate immediately.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Once I heard, oh, he got nicked. It wasn't. I wasn't thinking, oh, Pat and Fane failed on his attack. That's
Oh,
all Pat
no.
and Fane wanted to do.
Yep,
That's all he needed to do,
He wanted a slow death for him.
and just a nick, just a
Yeah.
little bit,
Mhm.
just to see how it feels.
So
Just-
why don't you
just
think
the tip.
Rand? Why don't you think Rand, just like anybody else that got nicked, like died immediately? Because I mean, we saw
Well-
that in Great Hunt. People died immediately.
Well, we
Well,
know one
They
part
they
why.
touch on it.
Yeah, they did.
The two
I said
evils
if-
were fighting each other.
Right.
Correct.
Because the
Eh.
evil existed in that wound where he hit. Instead
Right.
of attacking him, it started trying to attack the other evil. Because
Yeah.
you got to
Now,
remember,
the moment I read it, though,
Mhm.
I had a cheesier stance of, well, it's Rand and he's just oh so strong.
Sure.
But
His Taviran did not help him on this one.
no.
Or did it?
or did it?
Or
Yeah.
did it?
You can't
So-
think Taviran always just means everything's going to work out perfectly for you. Sometimes it makes the things happen that need to happen.
And it also gives you a peek into what they didn't already realize is that there are two different evils at play.
Well, yeah, and we talked about this way back, I think in Eye of the World, even when we first talked about Mordeth and who Mordeth, as historical Mordeth, was, and that the reason why Shadow Logarth fell was because this guy named Mordeth came and they tried to develop a way to defeat the Shadow with evil. Like rather than trying to defeat it in good ways, they created this thing called Bashadar, which was
Yeah.
more evil that could defeat evil. So
But
fighting
it was,
evil,
like, it
with
was like a
evil.
pure chaotic evil, though. Like it
Right.
did not discriminate.
But its purpose is to fight the Shadow.
Right.
Was the whole reason it was
Yeah.
made, which is probably the reason why where he was cut saved Rand's life in a way.
yeah.
Because
Because
immediately
right away
the-
went to attacking that versus
attacking that versus
Rand.
him.
Mhm.
So But Rand still collapses because obviously this is not good. And Samitsu tries to heal him, but not really just enough to get him out of the situation where they can,
it slows down the path to death. But even she says after analyzing it, like he's still gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I've done everything I can, but he's heading in that direction.
He will eventually die. Yeah. And Catswain's not going to give up. She's like, no, we're going to figure out something.
And now coming from Catswain, and I don't think she was just trying to pick this woman up. Catswain's saying like, literally, you're the best yellow there is. You're the best healer there is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody could heal better than you. Of course, in my mind, I'm thinking, hopefully they run into Nynaeve.
Yeah.
And maybe Nynaeve shows them a little something. But this is the max what you can expect from any yellow Asha. And it's still not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely did not go the Nynaeve route, believe it or not.
That's what I was thinking.
Did you go the Ashman route? Did you think that? But we're jumping ahead too much.
I didn't go Ashman route.
I went that route simply because I realized in my mind that the men and women kind of balance each other.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no greater way to show that than for this moment to be it.
Right.
So I did actually go that route. That was my first instinct, was where the women cannot finish it, the men will help. So it wasn't they're going to do something so much more than what the women could. It was just, they're going to add to. And that's exactly, I know we're jumping ahead. That's exactly what happened. So I felt kind of, I don't want to say vindicated in my thoughts, but excited about it.
And Katie always coming through, men did foreshadow all this, saying, the way that Ta'Veren works is that, if you do all these good things, there's balance.
Right.
The pattern's going to balance out.
We're going to have Katie on. I want to know what this Katie person looks like.
Sign her up.
It's really Sanderson, like with the...
Yeah.
Right.
Brando Sanders in our chat. He's too busy writing. He can't come watch us every week. What are you talking about?
On that note, okay, sidebar a little bit. Did you see, I forget who they were from, but somebody came out and wrote a piece on Brandon Sanderson. And they went and interviewed him and everything. And they just dogged him, wrote this horrible article and like, I don't get it, doesn't make sense or whatever. But then Sanderson's response was as stand-up as you could be, like, look.
I did see a response, but I didn't know the response was 2.
Yeah. So there's a guy from Wired magazine, in case you didn't follow this, and I'm not going to comment too much on it because I don't even want to give it press. But basically, he went to go. He didn't like Brandon Sanderson's writing, so he went to go interview Brandon Sanderson.
I didn't feel like he understood the fantasy world at all.
Yeah, and he went to go interview Brandon Sanderson, and it looked like he was just stretching for ways to like make a bad article, and he couldn't really find any, so he just turned it into a personal attack. Like the whole article was like, he's so Mormon-y and lame and boring of a person, and his kids are horrible, and his wife's hard. Like it was like that kind of like it was just very bad journalism. Like
I kept waiting for it to be like, just kidding, or like obvious satire or something like that. But he just had a lot of negative things to say about him.
Yeah,
it was odd.
It was really weird.
But Sanderson's comeback was as good as it can be.
The Sanderson Mormon?
It's like he was like,
yeah, he's Mormon.
This guy's also, he's a peer, fellow writer sort of thing. He's trying to figure this out, blah, blah, blah. I mean,
he's trying to get clicks.
That was interesting. Anyway, sorry. Big sidebar. I just came across that the other day and I was like, man, I thought we were done picking on fantasy folks. Like, I thought it was cool now. Like everybody,
being a nerd was okay.
And he made it sound like he definitely wasn't like it didn't sound like he was a fantasy fan. He was just like,
right. I didn't think that
stupid.
Right. That guy who wrote the article, I don't think he had any hope of understanding the genre at all. So, anyways,
that's okay.
But Esquire did a really nice piece to follow up with it.
Okay.
Esquire magazine.
I got to check that out.
Yeah, they did a really nice piece, and there is some stuff they talk about some negatives as well, but they did it in a very more journalistic and classy way. So
sure, yeah, you could not like an author and like just the way that one was written. It was over the top. But anyway,
like George Martin, complete total asshole. Love his word, complete total asshole. Yeah. Why? Simply because he won't write the next book.
Yeah,
finish it.
But yeah, so they end up carrying Rand out of the chaos, and they get to the road and run out there and flag
Rowan.
down the first poor guy just
I
carrying
know,
his
I was about
turnips
to
to
say.
market. I mean, like,
Just trying to make a living.
just trying to make a
Matt
living.
Swain
Like,
just like throws the bag at him. You're mine now.
no, yeah.
Throw all
It's like,
your
we're
turnips
we're gonna
away.
take all the turnips away. I'm gonna buy all your turnips, and then you're gonna take me to Sun Palace.
Like, first off, I would be going back and getting those turnips later, but and I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
But like to
Profits.
throw a bag and say, here's your whole like year's worth of work, just throw it all out. Kind of, I felt that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's better than what you see in all the movies. I don't know if it actually happens, but in the movies in the
Where they
US,
take your
they
stuff.
whip out the badge and they're like, Homeland Security, I'm taking your car. And they just rip them out.
Yeah,
That
very
shit
true.
that shit would never fly.
No. I'm like, I don't care who you are.
Right.
You're not taking my stuff.
Take that badge and shove it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I mean, at least she didn't just compensate him; she overcompensated him. Like, you know, and they needed it. Needs the key.
Yeah.
Plus a bag full of money.
Yep. So yeah, they they channel all the turnips out of the cart, make a little bed for Rand, and they head off to the Sun Palace. And Cadsuane tries to convince him to come back to her place first. It's like, no, we'll skip that. And Min's like, no. And she surprises herself by talking back to Cadsuane. She's like, if he wakes up in a place that he doesn't recognize, you're dead. Like, he's gonna, like, at this point,
Min saves the day here.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
100%.
If Rand woke up after what he's been through
in a box, you know, pretty much like where he's like, you know,
and we get the first glimmer
one person
of
you didn't
life.
recognize.
We get the first glimmer of like kind of care from Cadsuane in this moment too.
She concedes that he's
Lane.
Yeah.
Huh?
I mean, she concedes that Min's right.
Yeah.
I mean, as dummy.
No, she's not. And she literally asks like what happened to him the last time that happened. And so we had the explanation of him being trapped in the box given to her.
Right.
And that made a huge difference in her reaction.
But also and when he got out, he did what? And one of the other Aes Sedai there was like
throwing up.
3 women, and they're throwing up and everything. And Cadsuane like is put off by it, but I think Cadsuane understands what she's dealing with.
Yeah,
she's almost
better
okay
than a lot of
with
other
it.
people.
Yeah,
I don't want to say okay, like it's probably still very distasteful, but not as surprised.
Sure, I go with that.
Yeah, and then we get to the Sun Palace, and the maidens all are freaking out because honor, obviously, wailing. They're freaking out. The wise women are freaking out, and like Cadsuane's trying to send them all away, and they're like,
"There's not a person at this point that's not freaking out."
Yeah, because Rand's dying. I mean, it's like it's a huge thing, and the Ashman come in. She tries to send out the wise woman and has like the stare off. I think it's with the Mies at this point. The Cadsuane and Mies stare off. It's like
you want to go?
You want to go?
Not gonna do anything about
the wise ones don't back down from nothing.
No, they don't. I got to give it to them. I completely agree.
Even if they recognize that somebody's stronger in the power, they don't flinch. They don't blink. They're like honey badgers. Don't give a shit.
Yep. But as they're trying to, I guess, make Rand comfortable and he's dying, just Shiva and Flynn come in, and she was like, "Oh, we got this." And they're like, no, you're not going to let a man channel her anywhere near." It's like, no, move aside. Flynn got this. He knows what he's doing. It's like,
Flynn's the best.
Yeah, Flynn's this old haggard man. He comes in, he's just like,
his story is fantastic though.
Yeah,
it's short and sweet, but I love how Jordan finds a way to get his story in there without dragging this out, because obviously Rand needs immediate attention. So Flynn's thing is that he likes to talk while he's healing, channeling, whatever. It helps him focus.
He lets his hands do the work.
Yeah, but as he's doing it, he takes the time to explain so everybody in the room can hear, how he came to be a healer, and he used to be a fighter, then injured, then this, that, and the other, and learned he had a knack for it. And as he's talking and explaining this to everybody, and oh, by the way, the main person trying to put a stop to this was the Yellow, whatever her name was.
Right.
And so she's really
Famitsu.
freaking out, but the other guy's not letting her come close, but she's listening to what he's saying. And then finally she sees that he actually improved upon what she did.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Again,
she's
he's
like,
not 100%, but
I
improved
will
upon
have your babies if you
Right.
just tell me what you did.
she lost her shit. She was like, and so much comes into play here. Like, for
You
how
have my
long have
virginity,
these
I will
female
have your
Ice Guy,
baby.
for how long
Yeah.
have they convinced themselves that they're the cock of the walk, that they can do it all by themselves, and whatever they can do at the maximum of what they can do, the men certainly can't do it better.
Yeah.
Right? There's a couple that have talked about, back in the day when men and women could channel together, like that's when they were most powerful. But I feel like the reality of that is totally lost on most,
Yeah.
if not all of them. And so this was like an aha moment for her. Like, she knows she's one of the best, and she knows he just did a little bit more. And probably the
Mhm.
curiosity also of they can't really watch each other channel and see what they're doing. So like,
Flynn
it's not like,
Dahmer, Flynn Dahmer got himself a
Oh
very strict
yeah.
oh
did.
yeah, I'm a little sad though. All right, I know I'm all over the place. Chris, you were talking about how like you kind of saw this coming with the Ashaman. I think part of the reason why I didn't is because I knew there would be a moment where the male female channelers find a way to start bridging the gap, coming together, finding common ground, and then
Yeah.
eventually channeling together. And I've been just assuming for so long it would be Rand and Egwene, or Rand and Elaine, or Rand and Nynaeve, or some combination there. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not mad.
Could you
mad at
imagine?
that,
Could you
but
imagine Rand and Nynaeve channeling together? Like,
it's going to happen with the
It
two big
is gonna
statues.
oh, it's gonna have the two. Okay.
Oh, now
You know, the
that I
ones they were
didn't
digging
know.
out of the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
That's-
That I wasn't thinking,
Yeah.
but I'm there with you. That would be pretty cool.
Yep.
I mean, he has their counter.
What are they gonna
statue.
do? Just
Blow
like
up fucking planets.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck they
The
want. What kind of
destroyer.
question is that? Stop thinking so small, dark friend Alan. What are they gonna rob somebody for their turnips? No. Planet destroying power. Existence destroying power. They are what they're gonna do. They're gonna balefire everything so fucking hard that they go back to the beginning before people fuck things up and release the Dark One.
Yeah, there
Or
you go.
maybe it like
Oh, interesting.
splits the.
They're gonna go blockbuster and they're gonna be kind and rewind everybody.
Maybe it splits the taint from the male side.
Ouch.
Oh.
The poor taint.
Ouch, very ouch.
There's a couple of women out there that are mothers that just raise their hand. I know what that's like.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Sadly, it happens.
it does.
Mm.
So yeah. So Flynn explains to her how he did it. Like, he says, well, I couldn't heal it, but what I could do is I could basically section them off and they're fighting each other. So maybe they'll actually heal each other over time, and hopefully they'll just both kill each other off. But I section off from him, so he'll be fine. And these two evils will keep on fighting each other within his body. But I was able to basically make a barrier and hold them in their own little war, which is kind of
Yeah.
cool little idea. Like, rather
Yeah.
than try to heal it, like he's like,
Why's it got to be a little idea? Yeah, Alan, even you're putting the
Okay.
Ashaman down.
okay.
How about here? Try that again. Say it again.
That was a really big idea. That's big brain stuff going on there, man.
That was 3 or
brain,
4
wasn't that
brain
in
cells
elementary
applied to that. Fair enough. But yeah, pretty cool.
This is how you know you're a father of a toddler. He said big brain.
Big brain.
Big,
That's
he's smart. Big brain.
Big brain. He's a big brain.
Like Big Bird? No, son.
no,
No.
but you're a disappointment. I need you to find better references. My children are gonna hate me.
Yeah. And we do like trivia every night at dinner time. It's fun. So I try to teach my kids new things and like random useless trivia, but it's always fun. So like we did like, what are the top 5 foods that are eaten in the world? Like, so they had to guess what they were. My toddlers did, and they got them all, which I was surprised.
Did they?
You know, Yeah, they got all of them. It took
Mac
them
and
a lot of guesses.
cheese, chicken nuggets, hamburger.
Okay, it is
French fries.
yeah, so it's rice is number 1,
Oh.
eggs number 2, then chicken, pasta, and bread. Top 5 Indian foods in the
Oh.
I could live off of all of that,
The-
Yeah.
and some hot sauce or something to spice it up. Maybe some
How you
jalapenos.
been downtown too long?
Yeah.
Fun little trivia things we do at dinner time just to keep them learning about useless stuff, because who knows, that might come up and they might be Jeopardy contestants one day.
I was about to say that.
I'm gonna wait till they're a little bit older because I love you, Alan. But then I'm gonna come over for dinner one night, and my trivia questions are gonna be like, Alan in college, or do you want Alan in high school for 500? They'll be like, well, let's take high school Alan for 500.
What kind of dead animal did Alan stuff into a box?
Ooh.
Oh,
I got you a present. What's in the box? Go ahead and open it up. Why is there a dead seagull on my front doorstep? Don't worry about it.
man.
That's a long
time.
story. So anyway, yeah, seals the 2 wounds off. Zenitsu, begs him to explain it. And it ends with a chapter.
And they go to make babies.
Yeah, they go to make babies. That's
Correct.
the chapter. Yeah.
Yeah, in case I doubt this is the case, but if anybody hasn't read and they're listening to us because they feel they're just gonna get the story from us, Chris was not exaggerating. She wanted to know so badly what he did that she flat out offered to make babies for him. I know it sounds like that's something we make up to exaggerate, but that happened.
This time it didn't.
100%. Chris won't even try to be funny.
Nope. Being truthful.
Yeah.
Have we got that reputation where people just assume that what we're saying is half made up? Because
I mean, when it comes to stuff like that,
Well,
if it's a line like "she was so impressed," she was like, "I'm gonna give you babies." That's normally something we embellish a little bit.
You're right. We typically do.
But Jordan actually wrote this one.
Yeah.
That's how you know we all thought alike. This is destined.
Yeah. Anything from this chapter? I mean, there's a lot went on, and there's a lot of implications and a lot of things happening. I mean, Rand, it's definitely not healed. I mean, he's healed, but he's not 100% at this point going to the end of this book. I mean, he's still bedridden. He's not awake.
I'm distracted. Chris said Destiny. It just reminded me of that time in Panama City Beach at that bar that had poles with a girl named Destiny. Sorry.
But we are not at all immature, I promise you.
No.
Not at all.
No.
I thought you were talking about the time. Well, I guess that was in DC with Dave. With Dave.
Oh yeah, no.
Because you said at Panama City, I was like, no, it was in DC. And Dave ended up in Miami.
Yeah, that's right.
We went to a party. This is a fun story, and this is going like a complete tangent. But Chris, we had this friend named Dave, and we went to this party in DC, and it's a hotel party. So we're like going in a whole block of hotel rooms. So it's like going
Hopping around, progressive,
room to room, and having a good time. We see Dave like in a different crowd of people, and then a different crowd of people, and then all of a sudden, like Dave disappears, and the party ends.
Gone.
Night's over. We can't find.
We all
Dave.
rode together. We couldn't find him.
Oh,
We
wow.
couldn't find Dave. So like we looked, and this might have been before cell phones, or either Dave didn't have
It was
a cell
before
phone.
smartphone, and not everybody had a cell phone.
Right.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So like
dark ages.
we're like, I don't know what we're supposed to do. So we just left DC, and the Dave
We went home.
we went home.
Oh,
left Dave. Dave was missing for over a week. Like, and his
Oh,
parents like
wow.
called us, asking us like, "Where's Dave?"
His
Like, we
mom
don't
was
know.
freaking out.
His mom was freaking out, and lo and behold, a week later, his mom wakes up and walks outside, and Dave is passed out in the ditch in the front of their house.
Oh,
Apparently, Dave ended up going to Miami.
Miami.
No, I
Yes.
thought he went to Baltimore and then Miami.
Yeah, Baltimore and then
I think
Miami.
it was 2 stops.
Yeah, and then Miami, and then ended up hitchhiking and drinking his entire way home from Miami back to Virginia.
And the last person that
That's
brought
like
him
an
home
18-hour
pushed him out of the car.
drive.
Just he was drunk, passed out, and the last person just pushed him out into the ditch and left him there.
Yeah.
All right, that's how I got
Wow.
home.
That's like 18
And
hours.
Dave's still alive and has a kids and married. It's really weird now.
He's a great
He's
dude.
a great dad now.
Like just a great dude all around. Good person.
think she.
But he lived his life, let me tell you.
Oh,
Good Lord.
he did.
I wouldn't have the cojones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Good old
my new
Dave.
hero.
So after he tells me this story, I'm on the phone with him. There's a short pause, and then I was like, "So, like, are you grounded, or do you want to come over and play Halo?" He's like,
He's like, I'm good. I'll be there a little bit.
He's
My
like,
mom's
I'm
happy
good.
I'm alive.
"My mom said I'm grounded, but I'll be over in a minute."
All right, let's move to the next chapter. Chapter 37, A Note from the Palace. It's a good old Matt chapter. So yeah,
These Matt chapters, I have to say it. I'm glad he finally like outright said what was going on,
mhm.
and I'll be happy for Matt to be out of this situation. Even though the same thought process kind of went through my head that went through others' heads, I still don't like the situations for Matt. So
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt's hurried out of the palace. He finishes dressing, and he's trying to get out before Tylan can drag him back to her rooms, because apparently that's what she did the night before again. And he's trying to get out of there. And they're trying to get down to the Rashad, because they're gonna go after the bull wins. That they're trying to get there.
He is singularly focused. He's like, we get the
Yeah.
bowl. I can get Elaine, Nynaeve,
Mhm.
hopefully get Egwene, and get out of here.
Yeah.
That's his mission now.
Yeah. And yeah, he gets some of his red arms, Nielsen and Vannon, and some other red arms. They get ready to go, and Elaine's there with some of the kin, and they're discussing how old they are and how the Aes Sedais and things like that, and realizes that the kin's all older. they're all much older than the Aes Sedai. Like, damn, you guys are really old. And Lady and Matt started to argue about how soon they can leave Everdar. Like, Matt's like, no, we're getting this bull and we're getting the hell out of here. Like, I am done with this city. Like, I want out so bad. Matt cannot leave fast enough. And Elaine's like, no, we got to stay for a while and test things out. I was like, no. We're as soon as you get that bull, we're out. Besides, you need to get back to Egwene. She needs your help. We got to move. We got
to go.
Of course, Matt the entire thing trying to get away from Tylan. I mean, that's his whole thing. Yeah. And Lane wants to stay to fix the weather. So like, no, we have to stay to figure it out. And then comes one of my favorite scenes. So anything before I get to this scene, which is just great.
Now your summary,
Nope.
there's no more depth there.
Yeah. When Nynaeve and Lan show up, and Matt's like, Lan? Where the fuck Lan?
No. First it's like, she looks happy. Why is she look happy?
Yeah.
Like, this is the right thing. Like,
she's all walking
all of a sudden
bow-legged
the
and
start rattling in his head. He's like, oh shit, it's not really her.
Yeah.
And then Lan, he's like, Lan,
What the fuck?
Lan doesn't belong here. Now I know something's wrong.
And so the men go in a different cart. So like Lan and Matt in the same cart, and Matt and me is like, what the hell's going on? Like, why is she bossing you around? Why are you here? What's going on? She's like, well, son, we got married last night. He goes, what?
You married
You
her,
are an
married?
idiot. You married Nynaeve. Like,
why would you do that?
why would you do that?
Who compelled you?
The fact that was his response, so sad, but understandable, I guess.
Well, I guess if you're Matt and you grow up with Nynaeve, you think one way of, especially the wise woman, or what do they call them in the village now?
The wisdoms.
The wisdom, yeah. The wisdoms never marry, and then she went from that to becoming an Aes Sedai, which usually never marry. So plus Matt thinks of Nynaeve as a older sister, kind of probably. I would assume that's the way. So I mean, it's a lot of things like that. Like, why would you ever marry her? Like, she's just like,
just untouchable.
And always so mean. Like, I mean, Nynaeve's always mean to Matt. So he's like, why would you marry someone like that?
Lan's like, what we did on that boat.
Yeah. Well, the sea folk has
If
some
you only knew what we did on
unusual
that boat.
marriage customs.
It's like, you know, so I've got a sister, and like the stereotypical brother sister relationship, you know, the sister gets a boyfriend and the brother's like, you know, all protective and everything. Oh, you dating my sister? Huh. And I remember my sister bringing boyfriends home, and they try to be polite and everything, like, oh, my name is so and so. Yeah, you know, I'm dating your sister. And I would just be like, I mean,
Why?
good luck. Like, don't ask me for help. You did this to yourself.
That was me with the older sister and my mother after she got divorced. I'm like, you really want to date that? Like, let me tell you, you can have the headache, but I'm trying to save you, bro.
Good luck.
Like, husband number 2 called me the day they decided to get a divorce. He was like, I don't know why I didn't listen to you at the beginning. I was like, I don't know why you didn't either. Like, I love my mom, but
Trying to tell you.
I try to tell you.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
You know,
I love
hard head
and
has
I
to
do.
learn.
I love my sister to death. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I just put a
Yeah.
blessing on those guys, and I was like, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Oh, see, that's me and my older sister's just like my mom, so I'm like, that won't last too long. Now my younger sister, I'm like, bruh, she may play dumb, but she has all the intelligence I have without any of the couth and
Oh,
the care.
Mm.
Mm.
And nobody thinks it because, you know, high school dropout, you know, single girl, 30 years old. Yeah, she doesn't work, but all of her bills get paid. And before you think what you might think, you know, no children, no scares, no nothing. Guys just cash out her money.
Yep.
I don't look.
And women too, for that matter.
If I could pull it off, I would high five her if she were here right now.
Yeah.
That is, I wish I could.
And
Yep.
there's never a nasty thing ever said about her. So there's like, I legitimately, she just controls people.
Yeah.
Kind of scary.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like a happy life.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
thought about doing it.
Shit.
sometime.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I've been trying to get Alan to cash at me some money. He did it the other day, but the motherfucker used my credit card. So
That's how I roll.
that doesn't count, Alan.
I'll pay you with your money.
I got charged 3% on that transaction.
You instigated to yourself. That's another 3%.
Yeah, right. That's that 1.75. They just keep taking that money.
Yeah. So, yeah, and Lan also breaks the news to Matt that 2 of his Red Arms were killed by Balefire the day before by Moghedien. And Matt's not too worried about Moghedien, but everyone else is, obviously, because of Forsaken. Matt's like, I got the Foxhead Medallion. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is
Don't touch me. Yeah.
no. And then this is where Beslin is also there. It's like, did you get my mother's note? Like, what note? The one in the basket.
Beslin going out of his way to hook Matt up with his mother. Yeah, no.
It's just a little bit awkward.
Look, there was a period of time when both Alan and my mom were single.
I just sent her red rods. It's okay.
I had a nope. I don't think that'd ever be okay. And I love you, Alan, but no.
Yeah.
Because this guy's thought process is, well, you know, she's going to date somebody anyways. At least, like, you know, I like hanging out with Matt. It's a good time. We party.
Yeah.
That's not reason enough for.
Yeah. It's a little weird. Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, in this note, there's a lot of things. You know, she asked him about who's this daughter of the 9 moons?
How did she even hear about that? I'm confused.
I guess Matt must have said it or something at some point.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that. And also informs him that she's moving all his stuff into her room.
This
Oliver's
is
gonna
that
be
moment
fine.
where I was like, Matt needs to get out of there. Like,
Mhm.
Matt needs to go home. Like, open up a portal for him, send him on his way, because this shit's getting old. So, and
I'm
then
sure-
like
I'm sure he did an inventory real quick of all the stuff he had that could be moved in a room, and he probably went, "Yeah, I don't really need any of that.
Yep.
No, yeah,
Mhm.
fuck it, it's hers. I'm not going there."
That and the fact that she sent it in this basket that was coded that he didn't even understand. So it was really a show for everybody around him, which was not
Right.
fair.
That was the shady part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now everybody's thinking, about the message she's sending, and Matt's just clueless.
Yep.
Mhm. He's in
And her
quite
son
the-
is like, "Oh, you're the lucky one. Look, lucky you.
It's quite the juxtaposition.
We chose you."
Hmm.
It is inconceivable.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable. You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
I was hoping you had your finger on the trigger.
I keep using that word.
Inconceivable. But that's got to be how Matt feels. It's funny, we talk about communication and how everybody sucks about it, but like since he's been to Ebadar, Matt's been very forthcoming about like what his goals, intentions are. Like he's screaming at the top of his lungs, and everybody else around him is plotting. It's like nobody listens to him. Nobody,
Mhm.
gives him any credit for anything.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
And Matt just is almost ready to cry at this point because, all this stuff's like, I mean, it's just, Matt's not a good spot. That's not a good place.
Can we just get the bowl and get the fuck out of here?
Not here.
That's where Matt is.
I don't even care about my stuff anymore. I just want to leave.
Like it could be the Dark One himself holding the bowl, and Matt would go up there, dice him up, take the
Yeah.
bowl, and leave. Like,
I mean,
that's
isn't this
it.
also around the same time, or is the next chapter where Elaine and Matt have the conversation about the Queen?
I was relying on you before I brought it up.
I'm trying to, hold on. It's next chapter. Beginning next chapter.
That's like gross.
Yep. So that comes to the end of this chapter. So you're ready to move to the next one and talk about
Nothing.
6 stories?
Nothing
chapter.
important happens in this next chapter.
This chapter rocks.
I was distracted by little kids.
Oh,
These are my
Aw.
nieces.
grown up, or what is
There's-
it? What is it?
Eating.
She's eating.
Food's going
spinach.
in, not out.
Yeah.
That's coming out too.
Adorable.
Yeah. This is one of 2. They both look just the same. They're identical twins. They look nothing like their mother and everything like their father, which is hilarious because we all joked about it before. Here's number 2. Look just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all joked about it, and then they came out looking exactly like him, and
Mhm.
That's perfect.
Yeah. See, my kids don't look like
Joke that
me.
keeps on giving.
My wife or me. They don't look like either one of us. It's
no,
just-
that's true. They are a great blend.
Yeah, they don't look like either one of us at all.
Ian, how often did you get? Let me stop.
Well, unless they mix things up, my first one was done in the turkey baster procedure in a doctor's office. So unless they mixed up the turkey basters,
This
we were
one
having-
goes in your mouth, and
we
this
were
one
having-
goes in your butt. Oh wait, no,
we were
no,
having
wait,
trouble
no.
conceiving for our first
This
child.
one
So,
goes in your mouth.
so at least my oldest, unless the doctor screwed up, that one's mine.
The like the medical assistant drops the vial, it bashes on the ground. He's like, "Shit! Now what do I do?" Grabs an empty vial. That's horrible.
They'll never know.
You'll never know.
Matt would have gotten out and pulled the coach himself if he could. He thought they might have moved faster. The streets were already full with the sun not all the way up. Wagons and carts winding with it. Like Matt's over it. He's fed up. He's like, y'all are moving too slow. We're gonna
Yeah.
get this damn bowl and we're gonna get the F out of here. Like we
Yep.
are done with this place.
Are we starting chapter 38?
Yeah,
6 stories already?
I think so.
You're jumping right in. All right, so we'll go for it. Yeah, he's ready. He's done. Yeah, they're all heading over. Beslin's with them. They're heading over to the house. They're getting on, I guess, on the boat to head over across the river on a boat. Matt overhears hints regarding the arrangement between Lan and Nynaeve as a result of being married by the Sea Folk. Having to do with in public versus in private.
Uh,
I don't think Nynaeve cares where she does it with Lan.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No shame.
No shame at all. And this is the part where Elaine realizes the flowers in the basket imply something with Matt and the queen, and Elaine gets all up Matt's face about it. Like, I can't, a queen, Matt, really? And then Matt's like, bitch. Sorry, excuse me for using that word, but like,
I don't want this.
Right, yeah. It's funny too. Like now that Lan's around, Nynaeve can do no wrong in Matt's eyes. He's like, I'm gonna go fuss out Elaine. Nynaeve, you'll be all right. Like, we'll get you there. We'll figure it out. Your Lan's problem.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah.
He really pops up out of nowhere every time Matt heads towards Nynaeve.
Yep.
Like, hey, buddy, where are you going? Pop
Yeah.
behind.
I'm just going to talk to Elaine.
Massage.
Yeah, but Matt's reaction to being accused of seducing the queen is, no, you got it all wrong. It's the other way around. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Mr. Corley explained to Nynaeve and me the significance of those red flowers in the basket, which I see you at least have shame enough to have hidden. He was like, what? What are you talking about?
Insult to injury.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, Elaine's voice said, it's true. I could not believe it of you, and not even you. I'm sure Nynaeve couldn't. Couldn't. Any promise I made to you is abolished. I will not keep it. Like, that's the part that really pissed me off. So you're literally gonna just like withdraw your, sense of honor and the commitment you made because he did something you dislike.
That's the worst kind. Conditional love, conditional respect, conditional honor. That means it's not really love. It's not really respect. It's not really honor. You're just doing it because you think you get something out of it.
Mhm.
Exactly. And he's like, me, force my attention on her. And then, like you said, he pulls her to the side. He's like, you listen to me. The woman won't take no for an answer. I say no, and she laughs at me. Then she starves me. She bullies me.
Literally.
Chases me down like a stag. She has more hands than any 6 women I've met. She threatens to have the serving women undress me. And if I don't let her, he's like, what I mean to say is you don't understand. You have it all backwards.
Right. And then
And it
Elaine
almost
laughs about
sounds
it.
like, huh?
Then Elaine starts laughing about it, which, despite
At first, it almost sounds like she literally understands him. Like this has happened in the past to her in situations or
Well, could be.
situations she's heard of.
But you
But
don't let
then-
the pendulum swing too far to the other side. Like that
Yeah.
form of injustice is still an injustice no matter who it's happening to.
Correct.
So
This
I
is
don't
a statement that has always bothered me because I thought it at first. And then I instantly went away from it because I was like, nobody deserves that. It's a taste of his own medicine.
yeah.
Like,
But again,
I
people assume that about him. But we know we the reader have pretty good reason to believe that that's not him from what we've experienced with him in the book. That's not the type of person he is. But that's how other people see him. Remember,
he's not.
he had a
forcing
chance to go to the
himself on
palace
this
in the
other
beginning, and he was like, "No, I'm going to the Wandering Woman."
woman.
So, what image is that leaving? Now, that's not his fault, but I believe Elaine truly believes that this
And
is
see, in
probably
my
the way he
mind, him
treats
going to
women.
the Wandering Woman was just because he prefers to be around his type of people, common folk.
Right. Correct.
And
Yeah.
he loves the tavern. He loves to
He
drink.
likes the
he loves to
gambling. He likes
chill. Yeah.
the cards, the dice.
And it just so happens that he's an attractive man and ends up, bringing to bed any number of women. with him.
Attractive as in good looking or attractive as in Taviran?
All the above. Like you handsome guy. He has nothing to say. I left him speechless.
You know what? No.
All right, that was well placed.
That's gonna be my favorite of our clips, I think.
Who, me?
Until you put the bit, you gotta do that
Yeah,
one.
that one's great.
But to Elaine's surprise, after all of this, despite being humiliated, Matt still being selfless as he is like, I probably shouldn't do this, but Moghedien might be after you too. So here, take the Foxhead medallion.
Yeah.
Protect
That
yourself.
right there. Now, here's a question. Here's a thought. Would it have worked? Would it have protected her?
I think, well,
Mm,
I'd say it's worth a shot. I would give it more than 50-50 odds.
mhm.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super comfy.
And reluctantly, she refuses, and actually then apologizes for reacting the way she did.
I think so. The way she responds to him, I think she is in this moment recognizing something in Matt. Like, this wasn't a small gesture. It wasn't off the cuff. She knows that he knows what it can do for him.
Correct.
Right.
Mhm.
So she knows what he's giving up, what the safety for himself that he's giving up to try and protect her.
Mhm.
So her reaction seemed to me like she was a little callous and a little, joking on him about XYZ and
Mhm.
flipping out on him. But after that gesture, like, she was like, oh shit. Like, I think something clicked. Like, no, he really, okay, maybe this dude is really here to look out for me like he said he is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, I promise to keep the pair of you safe. If Moghedien shows up, she'll go after you two. Now, here. And she, like, again, has that puzzled look on her face. And then she's like,
I'd have
You know
given
what?
you just about anything to be able to hold this and examine it and all that jazz, but
Yeah.
but
you got to keep it. You got to keep it.
she's like, I won't wear this while Nynaeve doesn't have one, or Avienda. And I think they feel the same. You wear it. After all, you can hardly keep your promise if Moghedien kills you. Now that I think she's still here, I think she believes she killed Nynaeve.
Mhm.
Like, now here's the question: could she have gotten it, figured it out, and made more? Like, I think that's
she
her
did that with the
thought,
eye
too.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is this of the one power, or is this something different?
We don't know.
Sure.
The foxes and snakes gave it.
I mean, we have snakes in this chapter.
Is it enough that she just look at something, or does she have to, like, be able to use it to understand how it works to make it?
Well, and she could use it easily enough. She could tell Nynaeve to channel at her.
That's true.
Feel
So
how it reacts. Tell her to.
well, I
flip
guess
me
to
on
my point
bottom
is,
or
it's
whatever.
probably not enough that she held it for a brief second. Like,
Yeah.
No.
I think she needs more studying to be able to
Right.
recreate it.
I mean, it took her a while to recreate the eye down for Moghedien. But and also the dream. She had to do a lot of testing
Right.
to the
Some
dream.
work
rings.
better than others. So.
Yeah. So but yeah, so like I said, she reluctantly refuses that, and then to top everything off, the dice are still spinning in Matt's head. They've not stopped. Dice are still going.
And we're still not certain what that means, other than something's about to happen. Something's about to go down.
About to go down.
Another divergent path where he could go one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
100%. So after crossing the river, they get to the house. It's a 6-story building. And they comment on it, 6 stories. Matt orders Haran and some others to go find a back entrance and guard it. And of course, Elaine says, "Oh, there's no need for that. There's none else here. It's just us."
Gosh, Elaine. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello,
So
Fly.
naive.
Yeah.
It's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back with her sometimes.
Yeah. And then Elaine, Rayanne, and most of the kid head upstairs to go to the room, while the others wait with Nynaeve down below. And they're just hanging out, waiting. And as they're waiting, all of a sudden,
Well, appreciate Matt's like, come on, go get the bowl. Let's go up there and help her
let's
find
go.
the bowl.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, you get all that. But But shortly thereafter, while they're waiting,
Oh,
it's
I know.
Espeon and Thalion, who Nynaeve knows exactly who they are as soon as they come in. Black Aja.
I mean, it's not Mageddon,
Um,
but it's also not good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's them black witches.
Yeah.
Yep. So immediately calls them out, and Nynaeve goes to try to use her power, realizes they've shielded her immediately, which she's like, "Oh crap, this ain't good." But too much to their surprise is that they don't realize who Lan and Matt are. They think they're just hired hands.
This
So-
is great.
Yeah.
So Matt and Rand have their Tavernus. Rand can channel. Matt now has this necklace, and he also has connection to whoever he used to be, right? But Lan is just Lan.
Yeah.
And that is more than enough. Lan will just throw his body at shit, even when he like against like overpowering odds, bounce off of things, like just go berserker in the
Right.
true sense, berserker, and kicks ass and takes names. So I
Yeah.
don't want to take away from what Matt does here. Matt does great, but as far as we know, Lan is just we've said Lan is the man, but Lan is just a man. Maybe we find out he's more, but as a man, he kicks ass and takes names.
He does. I
Big time.
completely agree.
Oh yeah, we can't forget about that. Good job, Katie. Their first little argument when Nynaeve's like, "You told Matt."
He's like, yeah, I told her, and he's already lost. Like, and he's dead inside. He's like, I'm here for you. Just be happy.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Land is very much in the "it is what it is" mode of his
Yeah,
life.
he's in that
Land-
phase.
Lan is a tank. Yes, Lan is a
Yeah.
tank.
I can't even call it an argument because he didn't argue back. Like,
Yeah.
I am the firm belief it takes two to argue. I mean, you
Right.
can argue with yourself, then you're like a damn fool, and I'm gonna sit there and watch.
I could
That's how
buy
it
you a
is.
mirror if you need somebody to like
Yeah.
snap back at you, but
My ex, I used to look at shit like,
Yeah.
you should argue back. Why? It shows care and compassion. Does it?
does it?
Does it though?
Why'd you
Yeah.
tell him you shouldn't have told Matt? Okay.
It's a full sentence. It's a full
Let's-
explanation.
Let's move on with the story now.
Yeah.
right,
So,
what's next?
yeah, Lan tackles the two sisters. They try to block him, but he runs into the air and just busts through anyway. Just
Mhm.
takes him out, and the fight breaks out between the Red Arms and the Dark Friends.
I feel like so many people, so much happened at one time. Like, I got
yeah.
lost in this.
Oh, there's so much.
Listening
It was
to
so
it.
close quarters combat too, and
Yeah.
Matt can't even use his spear because it's so everything's so tight.
And-
I think that's the brilliance of Jordan's writing. Like, you feel like you're in that moment, and you feel like you're lost, and you're reading, and you are definitely.
It's a little chaotic.
Yeah, you're lost.
And it always it cracks me up sometimes when I stop to think when it comes to the channeling, like when they shield Nynaeve and then Nynaeve tries to channel, like it seems like there's all this effort going on. Like if I were watching it, you would see a struggle. But from the outside looking in, the Black Aja just kind of looked at Nynaeve and they did their thing and there's nothing to see. And Nynaeve was like, "Oh, I'm a channel back at you." And she gets all serious, but there's nothing to see. You can't see their attempts to
Right.
channel or their actual channeling,
It's
Right.
like
But-
constipation.
right?
That's
Yeah.
how I see it.
But then you have the Matt and Lan that start bringing the action in, like of
Right.
what you can physically see and witness and fighting. So
Right.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, eventually the shield drops, and Nynaeve is able to kind of overtake them. But then at the same time, she realizes there's channeling coming from upstairs where Elaine is, and she yells to Matt, like, "There's channeling upstairs, go get her." So yeah, Matt does.
Well,
Yeah,
Matt goes upstairs. He doesn't exactly go get her.
Well, he
she's
runs.
already-
He runs
she's
upstairs.
already-
He goes
she's already
to go
been
get.
got.
Yeah,
Everybody
runs-
up there's been got.
yeah. Runs upstairs, and it's a scene out of a horror movie. Like there's
Yeah.
just dead bodies everywhere. Elaine's unconscious but still alive. But he's this strange man's moving towards.
He
him.
doesn't realize that she's still alive right now.
No, not right now.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's just
Dead.
she's tossed off to the side.
Yeah. And you know,
There's a survivor crawling towards him until her head gets basically twisted off.
yep. Gets just right off. And this just strange man that moves faster than a Murgle is how Matt describes it. And he goes in for attack and now see
What are these people?
and now seen he arrives, and as soon as he arrives, he pulls out a sword, and the thing just like moves right past Matt, past the guy's sword, and grabs him by the throat and rips his throat out. Like,
Yeah.
which is and it just say like blood splatters, you know, it's just horrid. Yeah. Pretty graphic.
Can I just say, I watched Indiana Jones Temple of Doom the other day, in the scene where he rips the heart out and it's still beating and then catches fire. Like, it's still awesome. And that was from the 80s. That was
Mhm.
before CGI and everything.
Yeah. It
It
was
was great. It's still great.
Yeah. Good
They may have
practical
really
effects.
ripped us, you know.
Yeah, maybe
They might
maybe they
actually-
actually, yeah, it was the 80s. They might have actually sacrificed somebody to
Sacrificed
make that work. Yeah. Good point, Chris. Didn't think of that.
This is a
Might
question.
came in
This is
there
a
like-
question for this question for Chris because he's a Harry Potter fan. Did the battle remind anyone of the
Correct.
Blade?
Yes. Reading it was a lot easier for me than watching it. But this is exactly how I felt. The close quarters combat, the instant chaos, the not really being able to track characters and having to reread it 3 or 4 times. That, yes, completely agree. That's how I felt.
It's a whirlwind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, it gets his throat pulled out, which is devastating for Matt. You know,
Bruh, if I was Matt, I'd have been out of there. There's no way I would have stuck around. I know that's not Matt's style, but
he's a safe lane. I mean, he's going to
Yeah.
try everything he can.
yeah.
And he goes in to attack this guy, and this guy's just like, you know, and he gets on him and like stabs like multiple times in the back, and like has blades hanging out of him, and and
Oh yeah, that was crazy part.
the guy just
Yeah,
turns
this
around
is
and
not
like,
a man.
Like he
Sh-
like
what?
after he rips the throat out of the other dude, Matt's basically on his back, just stabbing him,
multiple times. Yeah.
like jamming the dagger deep in. He had a dagger at that point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And still gets flung off, and the dude turns around and like has the dagger hanging out of him, and is still full strength,
Right.
like not even phased.
Not even phased by it. Matt's like, oh shit, this is not good. And comes on top of Matt and like is literally about to kill
Giggity.
Matt.
Does he really?
So that's what gets him off, huh? It's a creepy ass bed, dude. Words are important, Alan.
They are. Anyways.
Words are important.
Anyways.
Then he gives him a basket with roses and shit on it. Matt's like, "You too? God damn it!"
You know what? No.
Eden and Peel about to be my favorite character tonight.
Yes.
Jordan Peele's gonna be your favorite character. um, so yeah, about to kill Matt, and Matt's medallion's hanging, and it touches the man's cheek, and he screams, and it burns into his cheek. And Matt's like, "Huh, interesting." So
Interesting.
interesting, yeah. So
Let me weaponize this thing real quick.
yeah, starts like doing the nunchuck moves with it, rips it off, and starts figure eighting it. And moving towards them.
Do we feel like this is one of those creatures?
No.
I mean, I know what this is. I know what it is. But
So
continue.
my thought process would be this might be the golem. Whatever it is, I think it was created by the power, and it was created specifically by female power because
And
the medallion
breaks
resists
up the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it could defend from that power.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
when I say female power, we haven't really confirmed if it blocks from male
Right,
Aes Sedai
yeah.
channeling as well. But if it is only blocking from female channeling, then this was some creation created by the power.
okay.
That's why it works.
Yeah. And the man stands up and takes his knife out of his side and throws it at Matt. And that's when Matt realizes there's no blood on that dagger. The guy has no blood in him. It's like the
Yeah.
Sandman from Hellboy. You know,
Yeah.
gets stabbed a million times and just turns his clock back on. Keeps coming at you.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hal goes Roadhouse. Now, when you read that, do you think of actual Roadhouse or do you think of Family Guy doing the Roadhouse? Because Family Guy Roadhouse is pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, but once Matt starts using the medallion as a weapon, the creature, escapes like a snake. It explains, like just slithers out into another room and disappears. And when Matt goes to try to find it, it's gone. But there's no openings larger than what a rat could go through. But it's disappeared.
He's a changeling.
Like a snake.
Like a snake.
Like a
I heard
snake.
him say snake. I heard it too. Interesting. Sure, Alan. Sure.
Wait, that's how Matt describes it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie's thinking that. Katie's reading along with us, so she's the same pace. So.
Thank you. Okay, I'm glad somebody else is on the same page as me, because I really did think like these things are out helping. Maybe not necessarily helping the Dark One, but helping the Dark One, or after some of the same goals or something to that effect. So.
Yeah. And what does it say? It says the guy said something to Matt. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Yeah, he ran out. He was. Hold on a second.
There were some words he said. He was like,
yeah,
like I have to do it or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but like, because he said like not Elaine, and like he said something along the line like, I'm supposed to kill you too. Like he wants you too, or
he wants you just as much as her.
Yeah.
So he is working for the Dark One.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's working for he.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's true. It could be any he.
So there's a he that created him. So I was probably wrong about.
Maybe not created him, but controls him.
Who do you work for? Who does number 2 work for? Yep. Yeah, and when Elaine recovers, she says, channeling had no effect at all on the creature. Like she tried channeling on, had no effect at all on him.
Yeah.
Just
like on the medallion.
I was gonna say, yeah, a similar power. So maybe it is more of a foxes, snakes thing.
I'm gonna stick to that for right now because this is where I'm leaning.
Raffo.
Yeah, sure. You can't do that to me. You don't know either.
But yeah,
that's
true.
So after all this is over with, they've beat the dark friends downstairs, and they finally get the bowl of winds. They have finally got.
I mean, we have this much of the book left, so
yeah,
expectation at this point.
Yeah. At the same time, Matt does a tally of the dead. 2 wise women are dead, and 6 red arms.
Now it's interesting how Jordan does things. At the end, we have all of our main players get beat the crap out of and shown how insignificant and powerless they really are.
It's been done before. Empire Strikes Back.
It just sucks, man. It sucks. But we know we have 7 more books. But like, when are they going to have the time to really learn how to really master these skills? Like, they're going to rely a lot on luck. But I feel like we're going to get a book full of learning at some point. But
consider all the tension that is between all of our main characters, all of our most powerful characters. Part of, I think, where we have to go is it's not we have to individually become stronger. They have to learn how to balance their talents and gifts together and work as a team. They've got to partner up. They've got to pair up. We need some threesomes. We need some foursomes.
I love to see. Maybe we can get Rand, Avienda.
Is there gonna be a scene where like Lan and Matt high five each other? You know, the old Eiffel Tower. That's not really where I was going with all of that, but
yeah,
I guess, I mean, I'm sounding repetitive, but they are already like Elaine's already super powerful. Nynaeve, very powerful. Rand, super powerful. But we're getting a perfect example here where against certain beings, they're not strong enough on their own. They've got to learn to work together. They got to stop fighting each other.
Yeah. So,
Rand aiming for a foursome. Yeah, and if Moraine comes back, maybe a fivesome. I mean, when Moraine comes back.
Yes, when.
A sixsome,
Yeah.
because if she comes back, guess who else is coming back? Wifey. Lanfear.
Now, whose side is Lanfear going to be on when she comes back?
Her side. Whose side has she always been on? She's on her side.
Yeah. Okay. She's a Forsaken.
Very true.
She's nobody's sidekick.
serves the great Lord. So they go into the room, they find what they can, get the bowl and stuff as many sangreals and ongreals and tongreals they can from the room in all their pockets and leave.
They did
Make
that
like a
wrong.
tree
They
and get
should have
the
been ready to
flock
take
out
as
of there.
much- Yeah, they should have been more prepared to take everything there.
Lanfear, who? Hal, you ain't been around long enough. We know Lanfear. I know Lanfear
His
biblically.
fiance.
Yeah.
My
It's one
fiance.
thing to say the whole Perrin who. We're about to get a book with Perrin,
It's never
Lanfear,
gonna happen.
Moraine. Like it's just gonna be a straight up outlier book.
Because Chris is gonna write it. That's the only way it's gonna happen.
Hey, we could do that.
We could write a book.
We could.
I'm not gonna promise you it will be rated G.
Can't promise you it'll be good.
Yeah,
It's not gonna be G for good.
my ideas
Rated
would be great.
B
If
for
you look
bad.
at grammar and stuff like that, then we got bigger issues.
Let's get Chat GPT to write it for you. That's just type in a prompt. I'll write the whole book for you.
Yeah,
Good to
ooh.
go. Yeah, so that's how we end this chapter. Them stuffing their pockets full and not ready to get the hell out of there. Time to leave.
And that's gonna happen. They got the bowl, so they're just gonna dip out, right?
right, yeah.
Well, we already heard. Even once you get the bowl, we need weeks to study it and use it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
we have 3 chapters left. How do you think this book's going to end?
Bro, that's not even fair.
Well, let me give you the chapter titles because next time.
Let me tell you, there's going to be more arguing, less communication that's helpful, and nothing important's going to happen.
Okay.
Like, I feel like they're going to argue because they are off for leaving, and I feel like first thing they're going to talk Matt out of leaving.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like, even though they don't realize that they're wave runners, runners, whatever they're called, all over now, like wave mistresses to help them out, they're still going to fight to stay there. Rand is still going to be in his hammock bed, somebody men singing lullabies to him. And Perrin's going to come up and take Rand's spot as master of all of these 3 chapters.
do you know what I want? And I'm not sure I'm gonna get.
What?
I want that yellow sister and the Ashaman healer. I don't even need a whole chapter. Just give me a couple of pages of them together talking, working stuff out. Maybe even coming up with a plan to try and heal Rand some more together.
Yeah, I would like that, but I mean that's
I doubt I'll get
essentially
it.
what they did, but they didn't do.
Yeah, a cooperative effort. Alan, you okay? Did I just? blow
Alan,
your
what do you
mind?
think's gonna happen?
Sorry, I
next?
just got an email. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Nothing to do with this at all.
Oh,
That's
okay.
just U.S. sailing sucks.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
The governing body over racing, U.S. sailing just passed a new rule, and that any racing sanctioned if it's blowing over 25 knots or gusting over 30, that you're not allowed to race anymore.
Hey, that just means nobody's going to break your down the bay record.
Yeah, I guess I hold the down the bay record forever now.
You have a record that will never be
Never
broken.
beat.
Because if you're not going to go through 6 spinnakers in like 40 knots of wind, it's not going to happen.
That sucks. If it's over 2 feet of waves, no race. What?
But that's when it gets exciting.
If lightning's present, no race. Come on, how many lightning storms have I raced? in?
These are all track and field rules. Too much rain, too much lightning.
People get
Yep.
soft. Oh,
Yep.
man.
No, it's because the generation of owners are getting too old and they're trying to protect their boats.
Mhm.
I remember the time when the rich people had the boats, they never even got on the boats and we just sailed them for them. And then at the end of the day, you would just tell them what they needed to pay for to fix, and they would.
Yeah.
Now they're worried about their boats and equipment.
Anyway, so next 3 chapters we're covering are Promises to Keep,
Ooh.
Spears, and
Ooh.
A Crown of Swords.
All right. So I think we will right into Matt. Promises to Keep.
Okay.
And he's gonna force them suckers home.
I don't think it's going to work out in his favor, but we are going to discuss those
He's
promises.
gonna try it.
The next one is what about the Spears?
Spears, just Spears.
Spears.
Mhm.
SPEARS or
Yeah.
SPH?
Like Britney Spears.
Oh.
So
It's like I yell Spears.
I was a little worried that the maidens, they were doing the wailing and shit because Rand got hurt.
Mhm.
Even though Rand left without telling them and blah, 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 blah. These maidens that are there to protect him, like they're going to take it serious that he got hurt. Like they're going to be in a full on tow situation. There's going to be, I don't know if they go so crazy as to like take their own lives or something, but I think there's going to be a big reaction from the maidens for Rand getting hurt like that.
Yeah. And then A Crown of Swords.
Who's the chick that Rand was just hanging out with?
Randall's
Damadred?
Huh?
The Damadred chick.
Oh, Caroline?
Caroline. Yeah, she becomes queen.
Okay.
Yep. Because Rand's passed out.
We know we've heard what the Crown of Swords is earlier in this book, right?
What is it?
D's?
It's the crown of Ilion.
Oh.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
Don't be
Do we finish the book with Perrin?
No, don't be disillusioned. We're gonna have the queen coming back. We're gonna have Demon Dread, we're gonna have the queen, and we're gonna have Egwene all in one room looking at the crown. Like, all right, we're gonna flip a coin, or how we settling this?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna call it for you, Chris. I think we end on a Perrin chapter.
No. No.
No.
Yeah.
Perrin who?
Here, we're about to find out.
About to find out. So what are you showing? Anyway, so favorite character?
Keenan and Peele. No.
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. Awkward. So my favorite character, I said it in the beginning and then it left me that quick. Who did I say? Was it Cat Swain?
Catswain?
She's great.
She's definitely one of my favorite characters from this go around because her level-headedness in the course of everything that's going on is more or less what saves Rand's life, because she tried to heal him first. And then she called on the best healer in the group.
Yep.
And then also said, you know what, let the Ashman try their thing. Like, don't get in their way.
Yeah. I think she's the best pick. My top 3 would be her, and then Matt and Lan would be tied for second. But I got to give a little more credit for Lan Again, because as far as we know, he's just a man, but he is the
Oh,
man.
he is more than a man. He is a king.
Lan the man. But Matt should get a little credit here. He gets honorable mention. So I'll officially say Lan since you took Cat Swain.
Yeah.
But Matt, honorable mention.
How's
My-
Timanus because he
mine's
got
gonna be the
all-
snake. Mine's gonna be the Snake Man, just because
Really?
he was badass.
But Timanus is the one that taught the Ashaman how to channel, thus he's the one that saved Ran.
Timanus wasn't there.
But he saved Ran.
Well, we talk about him every other week when he's not here. So Chris just felt the
He's
need
here in
to
our
bring it up.
hearts. He's here in our hearts. Where is
I
Timanus
mean-
right now? He's still with Egwene and Saldar, I think.
Timanus trained the black.
Nobody cares where he is,
The
Alan.
Ashaman.
No,
He
Taim.
didn't train anybody.
Taim.
Taim, not
Oh,
Timanus.
sorry. Wrong T.
Timanus is one of Matt's commanders. That's still behind
That's right.
Saldar. Yeah,
I'm thinking the wrong person.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
where was he when Matt needed him the most?
he is with Egwene, where Matt left him.
It's messed up. He's the worst character ever.
He is the best.
He's the worst.
But yeah, so now Flint. I want to pick Flint as my favorite character.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved his
Just-
story
just-
time while he was healing. That really
Yeah,
was
that
great.
was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite character are those in Bridge 4 that is making it all happen.
Oh, Bridge 4. Anyway, so good old Bridge 4. So yeah, we'll be finishing this up in 2 weeks, right before we go to Jordan Con. So that way, when we do our panel, if you guys are coming to Jordan Con, anyone listening to this that's coming to Jordan Con, we will be in a panel on Sunday at 10 a.m. with the Wheel Takes. It's called "It Feels Like the First Time," and it's all about first-time readers in the Wheel of Time with Allie and Gus from Wheel Takes, and the three of us. So come check out that panel.
And if you haven't listened to Allie and Gus, you need
Shame
to.
on you.
yeah,
Every time
Yeah.
we've spent any kind of time with them, it's been
I
a
feel
blast.
horrible because they do so much beyond Wheel of Time. I really need to jump on and look at some of their other stuff. Like they're
Yeah.
doing Attack on Titans, and I've been thinking about starting it. So I may at
Okay.
least
Yeah.
jump on to their Attack on Titans stuff.
okay.
yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so we're doing a panel with them. It's gonna be chaotic and fun. So come check us out. We'll try to live stream it. I'll get a mod to hold a camera up or a cell phone up and live stream it. So
They'll remember to turn it on this time.
yeah, I'll try to remember to turn it on. I'll try to remember to charge my phone and charge things the right way and have batteries. We'll see. This is a bush league over here, so we'll see what we can do. But yeah, so anyways, how we can be found is at thewheelreads.com. It has links to everything. It has emails, and we do get emails from time to time, and I do enjoy them very much. I got an email the other day from one of our fans saying how much they love our podcast, and I do respond to those, and I do appreciate it because it makes me feel good about myself when nothing
And
else
all the
does.
hard work that he's doing.
Everybody loves a little pick me up,
Yeah, exactly. I feel it makes me
but
feel
we're
good.
also
So,
twisted. And if you have something to say and it's not nice, you could also say that.
it'll actually make me feel good too. So I
that
do.
also-
Hey, you're paying attention to me.
Trust me, we talk about those. That's- yeah.
Oh, we do, and I enjoy them. I enjoy constructive or just flat out criticism. That's not constructive. Just mean spirited stuff. It's fun.
Destructive criticism.
You might get
Let
talked
me be
about.
your punching bag.
You might get talked about live too.
Yeah, you might be. So, but yeah, so go support us. Get to buy some merch. There's some cool t-shirts. Also join our Discord. Great place to hang out. And Patreon. Yeah, best way to support us is Patreon. That's where we pay for all of our stuff, and the bills keep on adding up because I keep on buying things like editing software and stuff like that. So yeah, keep that up. And that's all I got for this week.
Until next time.
Peace.
Okay, bye.